Good Friday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and it's going to be a rather stormy Friday. And the weekend looks like it's going to have a drying out period. Easter Sunday looks dry, breezy, and relatively seasonal for this time of the year. This is the video forecast discussion for Friday, Good Friday, the 3rd of April 2015. And for the first time all year long so far, we haven't had temperatures this mild for morning lows, as we did have temperatures around 50 to 55, even 60 degrees for overnight lows as warm air continues to surge in on southwesterly winds. Temperatures around the city, New York City metropolitan airports this morning already at 61 in Central Park, 60 in LaGuardia. Other temperatures on Long Island range into the mid and upper 40s, and temperatures are rising basically in the 50s to lower 60s throughout the entire New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metropolitan area this morning. Watches, warnings, and advisories this morning. We have a couple of them. We have small craft advisories for the coastal waters of New York out to the eastern tip there into the southern areas of Massachusetts and Provincetown, and also down the Jersey coastline all the way into the back bays here of the Delaware and further down as well. The small craft advisory conditions and gale watch is in effect from late tonight through Saturday morning, and that means that we're going to have southwest winds a gust of 25 to 30 knots this morning, and increase from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., sharply increasing towards midnight tonight as the southerly gust up to 35 knots likely. Then the wind shift back to the west-northwest after midnight into the morning as a cold front comes through. Likely quite gusty at 35 to 40 knots for the rest of Saturday morning. Gale force gusts may linger into early Saturday afternoon along the New Jersey coast. And basically what this is going to mean is that the wave heights will continue to build to 6 to 10 feet, except 2 to 5 feet on the Delaware Bay. And these will be the strongest winds will be occurring between midnight tonight and 10 a.m. on Saturday. Now for the coastal waters from Sandy Hook, New Jersey out to Long Island. If we can pull this up here, we have small craft advisories and gale watches. Again, the same story, strong winds and seas building to 6 to 12 feet. Interior Mohawk Valley into Connecticut River Valley here, we have areas where we're going to have rapid snow melt and about a half of an inch to an inch of rain over the next 24 hours, and this may produce some ice jams and pockets of flooding around these regions here. Morning surface chart from weatheroanoke.com. A digital atmosphere software shows the cold front now crossing through New York into Pennsylvania, and a wave of low pressure on the front going to begin to stall up the front a little bit as it begrudgingly passes through the area overnight tonight. And these pockets of rain, moderate to heavy and even an isolated thunderstorm, will extend into central and southern New Jersey and into possibly just south of the New York City metropolitan area late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Morning pass of the visible satellite imagery this morning shows mid-level clouds beginning to lower and thicken across the region, and there is rain under these clouds. Look at the intense lifting now going on through the Tennessee and Mississippi River valleys into western Virginia and Kentucky here. All of this lifting means that the strong dynamics of heavier downpours and even an isolated thunderstorm or two could be moving through the region, especially the I-95 corridor and the Delmarva Peninsula during later this afternoon and this evening. Showing up on the radar this morning, we can see the plume of moderate to heavy rain breaking out across this Ohio and Tennessee River valleys here, and it's all streaming northeast in our direction. These were some of the storm reports from yesterday across in Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Kentucky, parts just of western Virginia here. All these areas in Missouri too, Kansas City, at large hail, damaging winds, and flooding from these storms. And the Storm Prediction Center has placed our entire area, especially southern New Jersey and the Philadelphia metropolitan area, into the I-95 corridor and the Delmarva area in a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. On the aviational weather deck this morning, VFR conditions lowering rapidly to IFR. In bands of showers, visibilities may be restricted to 3 miles in the showers, mainly south-southwest winds, gusts less than yesterday. We had gusts yesterday on Long Island, Suffolk County into the upper 40s, and 30s were predominant with the wind gusts yesterday afternoon across much of the rest of the region, generally under 25 knots except 30 knots southern Delaware. Chance for heavy thunderstorm mid-late afternoon, east Pennsylvania vicinity, Reading southward through the Delmarva. Mesoscale models favor this time frame for the heaviest storms. Right now for tonight, VFR ceilings with a brief MVFR and IFR conditions and showers and scattered thunderstorms. There is a chance for the west-southwest wind gust of 35 to 45 knots in any thunderstorm. And thinking the best chance of a thunderstorm would be late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Then the cold frontal passage just before dawn. Wind shift to the northwest, strongest pressure rises. Despite this, will increase the northwest winds back to 30 to 40 knots, strongest in southern New Jersey and Delaware. And there is an episode of low-level wind shear possible tonight through marginally and dependent on the surface wind, generally southwest at 50 to 60 knots, developing tonight mainly very late tonight. Very late tonight, the strongest would be across southeastern New Jersey. VFR conditions, gusty northwest winds diminishing throughout the day on Saturday. Monday, VFR, low chances of showers each day north of Allentown. Tuesday, sub-VFR conditions possible with scattered rain showers once again. Well, look at this. 59 degrees at Newark, dew point 43, humidity 55%, the wind is southwest at 10. And the story today will be the gusty winds and the rain showers and possibly a low-top thunderstorm moving through the region late this afternoon and this evening. Right now we're in VFR. VFR right now at Philadelphia, 59, dew point 46, humidity 63%, the wind is southwest at 12. And the story today will be the gusty southwesterly winds and the rain moving in. GFS forecast into motion. Here comes the area of rain. It will be overspreading the region late this afternoon and this evening, right through tomorrow morning as low pressure moves up and off the New Jersey and Mohawk River Valley areas, drags the cold front through the region. Rapidly clearing skies, breezy conditions, and much colder air coming in for tomorrow. So today's warm temperatures will be taken back by tomorrow's cold air advection. The winds begin to relax a little bit. High pressure builds in for Easter Sunday across the region. It's going to be a chilly day, a little bit slightly breezy day, and but dry over the forecast region. And there'll be a couple of bands of these extended areas where we're going to find elongated troughing here, or just some shortwave activity just to the north. This will keep a spotty shower in the forecast for Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, mainly north of the region, but it's not out of the question that some areas here in the northern sections will receive a spotty outlier shower. And more warm air advection begins to build across the region as we head into Tuesday. The frontal boundary begins to move back as a warm front. Spokes of precipitation and the Gulf of Mexico really begin to open up, and that means pockets and periods of rain. Location intensity will be dependent on where everything lines up, as we mentioned yesterday. There's going to be chances for precipitation in the forecast on and off into the mid to late part of next week. And as we get into Friday, it looks like it wants to dry out just a little bit with high pressure building over the top of us once again, and a relatively seasonal air mass for this time of the year. More warm air advection as low pressure begins to move up towards the Great Lakes. Warm air advection brings more rain into the picture on next weekend, and that means that we could be dealing with another boundary or frontal boundary that's in place here with just lots of Gulf moisture in place, and that means a wet period coming up for next weekend into the first part of the following week. So for everything live, it's Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a pleasant weekend and happy holidays to all who are celebrating both holidays this weekend, Passover and Easter. And we'll be back in video form on Monday morning.